Welcome back to another episode of Real Talk. It's our first Q&A session back for the year, and I'm joined once again by Nathan Najib. Nice to see you again, and nice to be back doing these videos.
Good to be back, George. Good to be back.
So today we have a few topics for you on our Q&A. Unemployment rate, real estate market shifts, Auckland investors, and please do stick around until the end where we will be answering some of your questions that you've left for us in our YouTube comments section. I do want to make you aware as well, you can listen to this episode on Spotify as well. So we're answering some questions today, and the first topic is unemployment. So the latest New Zealand unemployment rate has just been announced just now, actually, and the numbers are up from 4.8% last quarter to 5.1% this quarter. What does this tell us about the economy, and what are your thoughts? As you always mention, inflation and unemployment go hand in hand.
We've spoken about the Phillips curve. There's a video that we did recently about Phillips curve and how they work. So Phillips curve, Phillips suggests, he was a New Zealand economist. He suggested that when inflation is high, unemployment is low. And then when inflation goes low, unemployment increases. So if you look at it now, last quarter the inflation was 2.2% and unemployment was 4.8%. Now I'm suggesting that inflation next quarter will be higher than 2.2. Sorry, lower than 2.2, meaning the unemployment higher at 5.1. And what happens when unemployment get upwards of 5? It's not good for the economy. It's bad because people are now struggling. A lot of people are unemployed. I think it's 5.1% is 156,000 of our Kiwis.
Yeah, wow.
Are unemployed, meaning that what do those people do when they're unemployed? They have to sell their houses, perhaps if they own houses, meaning that less money in the economy. Lower inflation, it just tells you that the economy is not turning as much.
Yeah, absolutely. Second topic to talk about is a question that involves investors slowly coming back into the market. So the question is, Auckland investors are always keeping an eye on Christchurch. With the market softening, do you think that more Auckland investors will shift their focus here? And what do you advise to investors, and what price guide should they be looking at in Christchurch for a standard 2 to 3 bedroom investment house?
We've done another video about investments and 5-6% what kind of things you can buy around in Christchurch. We also compared with Wellington and Auckland, so you should watch that there. Yeah. And so investment, as the inflation gets lower and unemployment increases, there's going to be a lot of opportunities. So, and the banks are still hard to borrow money from. So if you are in a position that you can purchase property, get ready because there's going to be some good opportunities out there. And I think I've seen this before as well in the past. Buy a solid house on a full section, good return, good capital growth. Both would be good. And as we've said in the past, George, that be scared when people are greedy and be greedy when people are scared. That's the great Warren Buffett's quote.
Absolutely.
I keep coming back to.
Absolutely. And with regards to this housing crisis, those are two words that we're hearing be thrown around quite a lot at the moment. Ipsos is a well-known survey agency, very good at talking about the market. They say that younger Kiwis are feeling increasingly locked out of home ownership more than almost anywhere else in the world. High property prices are seen as the top housing challenge, followed by cost of renting. 51% say that the property prices are the biggest challenge, while 49% say that it's the cost of renting. And renters are much more likely than owners to see the cost of renting as the top issue. How do you feel about that? Makes sense.
Yeah. It certainly does. It's a horrible thing for a country, for people, residents in a country can't afford to buy properties. That's a horrible thing. Thanks to the Labour government that, like we talked about this in the past, that when the prices hike like they did in the last 3, 4, 5 years, what happens is the affordability outstrips people's salary, if you will. So people can't afford to buy houses.
Yeah.
And that's a horrible situation if your citizens can't buy properties. I'm not sure how fast is national moving with this. If it was me, my recommendation for national would be is to make it easy on people that's building first home properties. Bring a whole lot of incentives for them to build a whole lot of new houses so we can get the prices back. Because if there's so much bureaucracy and there's so much for reserve contribution and these things are so expensive,
Yeah.
people can't afford to buy houses like this.
100%. And the high cost of renting is not allowing them to get there as well.
Absolutely.
So people feel like they end up stuck in that loop.
Correct.
That's
The rat race,
inescapable.
if you will, man. It's
The rat
a
race.
horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible. So primary role for any government is to make everything affordable for their citizens. In particular, house prices.
Yes.
So obviously they're working on inflation, but my suggestion would be is to make it easy for people who are building houses, drop the costs of building coming back obviously now. And there's going to be more opportunities if this keeps carrying on, which it is, then like we've seen, it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad for the economy.
Yes. And we now have some subscriber questions to answer. So thank you very much for sending your questions through. I would encourage you to send them through to us. If you have any further questions, we're always more than happy to answer those. So first question is from Davey6907. Thank you, Davey, for your question. I recommend buy multi-units in one purchase. They're usually on one title, but not always. They have come up in price. Still, most buyers and investors don't know about it or think it's out of their league. So you can still find some good ones. What do you think about that?
Davey's got a point. Like I'm for a 3 or 4 bedroom house on a full section, but there's going to be opportunities now, plenty of opportunities to buy properties. Maybe some developers will have some unfinished developments that you can buy because a lot of developers are struggling now, right?
Yeah.
So that, as well as if you get a block of units on one title, you can cross these so you can freehold them pretty easily, which will add great value. So that's a good point. But you got to look for those kind of opportunities. You got to look hard and you got to look long. I was talking to one of my investors, our investors I've been talking to hold off and buy now. Exactly the same thing. You can buy some buildings that are half done from developers because they're struggling, they want to get out, as well as look around. There's some nice investments out there.
Sure. Sure. And a question from James Hurd. Thank you, James, for your question. When do we think we can get back to having the medium listing price and sold price back to being level? After COVID, real estate agents have been causing havoc for buyers and sellers. Everything is under negotiation and nothing is listed with a set price. Big part of that is sellers are putting unrealistic prices in a buyer's market.
So when the market is tough, when the market is great, right? Everything is selling. Like the real estate agents don't need to do much for houses to sell. You put it on the market, you turn up to an open home, the goddamn thing sells, right? Anybody can sell a house, no problem. But when the market turns like this, absolutely. Agents need to be more diligent on, number one, the price that they give to clients, and number two, putting a price for a price guide on. We've spoken about this in the past, and if agents are still not doing it, they are costing their vendors money. They're losing a whole lot of money for them because why? Because there's thousands of properties on the market nowadays, right? If you're not got a price, you haven't got a price on your property, I'm going to go buy the one down the road. I'm not going to waste my time. There's 75 others on the market in the same suburb.
Sure.
So not just pricing it, but also pricing it fairly. Because, just to give you an example, we sold a property down in Harker Street. We had a price between $595 to $695. I had offers for everywhere from $500, $550, $575, and the best offer was $721.
Wow.
So 30,000, almost 30,000 above the top range, right? So with that, make sure pricing your property fairly, and not, you cannot compromise anything in this market. In a market where everything is selling, you don't need to worry about it. Anybody can sell a house, right?
Yeah, exactly right. And the third comment is Bruce. Thanks, Bruce. Bruce is an Auckland seller looking to move to Christchurch. We've had it listed since October 2024 with very little interest, and we've even dropped the price from 1.6 million to 1.55 million with still no interest. The online real estate platforms CoreLogic and OneRoof have it priced at the same. Current real estate agents has advised us to drop the price. Is this the best method, or should we list for negotiation?
Yeah, that goes hand in hand with the question that we just answered,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
If you don't put a price or fairly price it, you're going to undersell it eventually. So I had a conversation with Bruce actually last week. I had a chat with him. Hello, Bruce. I did suggest to him to what I would do now is take it off the market, give it a little rest. If the agent you feel like he was good, he did the right thing by you, talk to the same agent. Otherwise, find a brand new agent who actually going to tell you the truth and price your property fairly, market it well, and help you present the property beautifully and negotiate the best possible price for you. Because there's no way, after sitting on the market for I think he was on the market for 6 months or
6
something.
months,
Yeah. So after being on the market for that long, there's hardly ever I've seen a house sit on the market for that long and maximize its value. So my suggestion, as I told Bruce, take it off the market, talk to a couple of different agents, find your best agent, price it fairly, market it beautifully, present it well. You will sell the property. Regardless of what the market is doing, there's always buyers.
There's always buyers.
So if your agents tell you there's no buyers, they're lying about other stuff as well.
Amazing. Well, thank you very much, Nathan. Always good to have you on and have you answer some questions in a real way and provide advice to the people out there. Speaking of, please do leave comments in our comments section. We're more than happy to answer those. And please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll keep making these, and it's your support that allows us to do so. Our Real Talk episodes are now available on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts as well. So please do check them out there when you're in the car driving along. Might be a nice thing for you to listen to. So thank you very much for watching. This has been Real Talk.